change. Yeah. Okay. Na? Yeah. So again, before we start, as the heading says, okay, I want to tell you two things. If you haven't written a single essay, whatever I'm going to tell you, you will feel it like theory. Okay, theory and practice are two different things. Unless you put your pen on paper and at least try to write one single essay, whatever I'm transferring you is my decade of experience in UPSC. So that is not easily transferable. And again, I am not arrogant enough to assume wise person in that quote. I couldn't find an alternative quote. So I'm more experienced than you. Okay, that is the only thing that differentiates between you and me. So whatever I'm going to discuss is pure experience, and it has helped many. I'm pretty sure it will give you new insight into essay. Okay, next. And there are tons and tons of material, essay notes, classes, topper talks, so on and so forth. Even you have your own perceptions, glass ceilings, right? Considering all these things, you have too much information. What we need is clarity. Yeah, so clarity should be the ultimate goal rather than anything else. Now quickly we will summarize the essay into three sections, not intro, body, conclusion, obviously. So the first understanding is the technical requirements, then comes the mental makeup. Okay, see, first you know that it's a 250 marker and there are high scores like 175. Please don't go by 2021 scores. 2021 scores are pretty varied. Like, you know, one person got 105, the other person got 130. There is no clarity on what is a good score in essay this year. But before this year, there were standard scores. Like anything 140, anything above 140 plus is a good score in essay. So we should aim for 145 plus. That is pretty much doable. So on a normal year, 145 is a good score. Probably this year, 125 is a good score. Right, so the number will change, but the quality, that means in a normal year if you get 145, in this year also you will get 125. In a normal year if you get 130, this year you will get 110. So if you are in 110, that means in normal year you are 130 only, still you have 15 marks scope. And the recent highest score in essay is 175. So just imagine 175 out of 250, that separates you from the crowd. Everybody else is getting 120, 115. You are getting 175, 50, 60 mark lead in one paper. Okay, so that is the power of essay. So, and the UPSC notification says the most important 3 lines. That is, understand these 3 lines. Candidate had to write essay on multiple topics. Okay, obviously 8 topics are given. Last year also 8 topics were given, but the new trend in last year is 8 different topics were given in a philosophical tone. The question paper was in philosophical tone, but the normal 8 different topics were still there. One is about women, one is about science, one is research, so on and so forth. And thanks to coaching institutes and other, you know, UPSC YouTubers who says, you know, crack UPSC, hack UPSC. UPSC is throwing a challenge at the face of the students. Now crack philosophical SL, I will see. Right? So unless you practice properly, it is not going to be an easy thing. Next, the most important or most routine feedback I give to students is closely. The entire word closely in that second line is where you and I differ. Okay, or where your UPSC expectations and scores differ. What do you mean by closely? From starting word, the intro, all the way till conclusion, entire essay should be as close as possible to the given topic. Unfortunately, in our mind, when we write, we are, you know, there is a Telugu movie joke, right? We are discussing about Hrithik Roshan budget. Okay, but when it comes out in Allu Naresh budget. So when we think about it, yes or no? When we think in our mind, we are writing a very relevant essay. But when I show you your own paper and say relevancy is not there, it will take 3 or 4 weeks for you to understand what is relevancy. Okay, that is the single biggest problem. So note down today itself that closely is a area where you and I will disagree. Okay, but slowly we will reach that destination. Next, and arrange the ideas in a orderly fashion. What do I mean by arrange the ideas in an orderly fashion? We will see. Story has to be coherent, right? A story has to be coherent. That means introduction is Bahubali, conclusion is RRR, right? It doesn't gel well. Everything has to go hand in hand. You have to tell one single story. And the last one is credit is given for effective and exact expression. What do I mean by that? I mean, what does UPSC expect by exact expression? That means no beating around the bush, no Harikatha, no Ramayana, right? To the point. Okay, that is also one expectation UPSC will have. Again, I will discuss the keywords in depth in a few pages, so I don't want to elaborate here now. And normal doubt students have is how many pages should I fill? You have to write 6 pages. Okay, filling, yes, it's easy. Filling is easy. Writing is very difficult. So you won't use all the 5 pages. 5 pages means 10 sheets, front and back. Okay, 10 is good, 12 is better. Maximum is 12, depending on your handwriting. And I have seen people do artistic things. In the starting, your font will be small because you are unable to fill the paper. Your font will increase as the page number goes. If I can see that, UPSC will definitely see through all your tricks. So try to maintain that uniformity. Okay, that is point number 1. I mean, one of the important points. Clear? Right. So before I start this class into next level, I need to acknowledge that this knowledge is not mine alone. Whatever I'm going to tell you, I have taken the help of my seniors, my mentors. Whatever I understand about essay, I have understood from standing on the shoulders of others. So if you stand on my shoulders, you are standing on their shoulders, which helps you see the UPSC essay in a whole different perspective. Just acknowledging my gurus. Okay. Now, this is part where we will discuss some lines. Okay. First, there are very common myths about UPSC essay paper. First is it's a low hanging fruit. Out of 250, you can get 150 easily. Whosoever said that, I don't know. It's not that easy. Okay. Next, no separate preparation needed. Yes, this was very true in 2014. In 2014, I have met IAS officers who said, my essay was directly in UPSC essay. I got 120, still I went in to become IAS. But unfortunately for your generation, everybody knows all these things. Okay, everybody know intro body conclusion. There are tons and tons of videos on YouTube, topper talks. So everybody will do the bare minimum. There was a time where UPSC aspirants don't know what is introduction, body, and conclusion. Now everybody knows a lot of other keywords also. Yes. So basic bare minimum preparation is not going to cut. You have to spend some qualitative time thinking. Only then you will separate. Okay. And simple example, if I say compassion, who is the first person you think about compassion? Exactly, right? Everybody will write the same Mother Teresa. So people are getting bored. If I write Mother Teresa for compassion, you are not going to get marks. Okay. You need to find the most contemporary example. Within compassion will be written by everybody. Within compassion, I need to showcase that I have thought about it. Okay. I have added the most contemporary example. Right. Even more contemporary. Right. The sooner the better. If tomorrow is your essay exam, if today you read something in the newspaper, use that. You have to be that contemporary. Yeah. I said right. On September 18th, 17th, you finalize whose name you will write. Sonu Sood, Mother Teresa, Ajim Premji, Kalyan sir. Okay, right? Okay, it's up to you. Right. Again, please don't go to exam hall writing only one essay. That is a blunder. Next, philosophical essays are different. This is where most people make a mistake thinking the topic is philosophical. Then I have to write philosophy. That is not the case. Just the question is in philosophical tone. Be the change you wish to see in the world. You can write about a lot of things. You can write about ISRO. You can write about Indian defense. You don't have to write about John Rawls, Jeremy Bentham, Gandhi, Vivekananda. That is not the case. Philosophical essay is not demanding philosophy from you. Right? That is the first misnomer or myth you have to break. Philosophical topics are not to be written only in philosophical tone. You can address in your own dimensionality. Next. Crowd wisdom gets updated and recycled. What do I mean by that? Last year, all of us were this level, like normal level. Now, after seeing topper copy, our collective wisdom has increased. So everybody sitting in the room or watching online, no, I have to write dimensions, I have to write examples, I have to throw something at the face of the examiner. If everybody knows the same trick, okay, again this year, why somebody will get 140, why some people will get only 120? Why do you think that? I mean, we have seen Anudeep copies. people have literally copied his writing style, presentation style, everything. Then why didn't they get AIR 1? Chalo, at least top 10. Missing originality. Okay. Again, I will personally argue it's more about the word closely. You are throwing something at the face of the examiner. It is not gelling well. Okay. Just don't throw something at his face because you have to throw. Don't start an essay because some topper told you with a quote. Is it working for you? Is it showcasing your originality? That is what makes all the difference in the world. Okay. Next. And most people ignore these two sources before writing a good essay. I don't know. I haven't seen any essay video. I don't know how to write an essay, but you have read NCERT. NCERT is written by some subject expert. Okay. But have you ever found an NCERT complicating things? Except in economy, macro economy, where they bring a lot of technicality. Most NCERTs are so simple, like stories. And they will fit, they will stay with you for a long time. Right? I clearly remember when for the first time I read Dr. Ambedkar's story in one NCERT. Okay, how he was waiting outside a railway station and all those things, right? Even today I can recollect that story. Why? It was written in such a simple tone without any complications. The reader is totally on par with the explainer, right? Okay, so please read these basic things. And as I told you, there was a time where dimensions and examples were enough in 2014-15. In 2022, it is not going to work if you just throw examples. Okay. Now, see, you must have friends who have ruined their opportunity in UPSC mains just by selecting the wrong topic, or not understanding the topic properly, or not understanding the demand of the exam properly. Again, as I said, wisdom cannot be transferred. You have to learn all these things through your own experiences, not through someone else's experience. Now, depth of the knowledge. Your GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4 knowledge will definitely help you. Okay. Apart from that, there are certain areas within those sections where you have to use them in GS paper 1. And essay preparation is a two-way street. Whatever you prepare for pollution, women issues, you can use in social justice. Whatever you prepare in social justice, you can use in essay. There is no such thing as isolated UPSC essay preparation, but the usage will vary. Okay, the usage will vary. So the depth of the knowledge means it's not about how many facts you remember, how qualitative is your argument. Okay, depth here comes as quality. You have 100 facts to throw at the face of the examiner. Which ones will fit well here? And is it showcasing my depth? Okay. Next, as I said, closely is relevancy. As a student, this is our tendency, right? We will write what we know not, what is asked. And we still assume we have written a good essay. Where does the problem, or where does the difference comes in? The relevancy part. Intro body conclusion has to be relevant. Within intro, whatever examples you are giving, that should be relevant. The body dimensions. Okay, let's say I'm talking about women. That also has to gel well with the given topic. Take a simple example. Last year or before that, there was a question, right? Ships don't sink because of the water around it that surrounds it. Ships sink because of the water that enters it. So there are two sections within the essay topic, part A and part B. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. I have written my entire essay focusing on that line, ignoring the other line, which is ships sink because of water that enters it. Then I haven't written a good essay. No matter how well my arguments are, I have addressed only first part of the essay, not the later part. Okay. So please write what is asked, not what you think is a topic. Okay. Next, arrange the ideas in a orderly fashion. What do I mean by that? Again, if you are not an UPSC certified, like if you haven't got a single 145 score, I believe most of us assume that we are writing like this. That means this is intro, this is body, and this is conclusion. I reached intro to the conclusion through a GART road approach. Yes or no? I mean, GART road, right? Left, right, slowly we reach the destination. But in reality, what happens is I directly jump from intro to conclusion. Then, there is no logical order in how I arrived at this particular junction. Okay. So this is my starting point X. My destination is Y. Okay. Instead of coming in a very logical, orderly fashion, I jump. Okay, even this is also writing. This is also having dimensions. This essay will also have examples. But in reality, it's not orderly linked. Your intro is not linking to your body. Your body within dimensions are not gelling well with the second dimension. And you're not coming to the conclusion in a logical fashion. You're directly jumping from point A to point 5. See, all these things will still get you 110. Whatever issues I am pointing out, right? It will still get you 110. But what we need is 145 plus. The real push is moving from 110 to 145. After 2 essays, everybody will reach this stage. No issues whatsoever. But the real growth lies in this 30 marks. This 35 marks is where everybody suffers. Okay. Next. Arrange the ideas in an orderly fashion means you have to use a brainstorming page to get to the conclusion. Next. Brevity of expression. Again, people will write within the subdimensions very like say for example, women topic he has read well, he will write it like 2 paragraphs. Education is 1 paragraph. Science and tech 1 paragraph. This is not concise or brevity, right? Every dimension has to be addressed in the equal fashion. Every dimension has to be treated in a equal tone. Okay, that is most important. You go back and you check your old copies instead of seeing or thinking whatever I'm saying. Just think how you wrote. Okay, even better, after the discussion, go home and take your old essay. I'm 100% sure at least in one dimension you have done this, where you have written too much in one area and you have ignored the other area. Okay, right. And the last one, effective and exact expression comes from simple language. You don't have to impress me. See, it's very difficult to impress me. If you write a fantastic essay also, I will still say there is some scope for improvement. But in the real life, when the examiner sees your copy, he's more than happy most of the times to see a educated or a prepared essay. But still within that, simplicity is the most important thing. Just imagine you have a 10th class brother or a sister. If you show your copy to him or her, okay, is she saying, yes, I understood whatever you wanted to say? Then you written a fantastic essay, right? Think about it. How can you tell someone be the change you wish to see in the world? A 10th class brother or a sister, you have to impress him or her by writing in the most simplest fashion. Okay, are you able to understand? Is she able to understand? If she asks you, what is this? Why did you write this example? I didn't get this line. Then you have made some technical errors. But if she says after reading the entire essay, no, I totally understand from intro to conclusion, whatever you wanted to say, I got it. Then that's a fantastic essay. So your benchmark is actually your brother or sister or some lay person, not someone who is mentoring UPSC aspirants, because I can always give a better example than most of your examples. So I won't be satisfied. That is, I'm not the benchmark. The real evaluator is someone who is having a normal life, is not preparing for UPSC, right? You have to convince that person without any technicalities. Okay, if you go there and throw your technical knowledge, optional knowledge at his face, he will be bored. That is why most people outside UPSC don't read Hindu. What is the paper that they prefer? Times of India. Write Hindu content in Times of India language. Your essay scores will improve. It's one line solution for essay writing, right? Write Hindu content. That means empirical data with simple language. Done. Okay. So we'll move on to the most important thing, life changer. Okay, after 1 year, you will tell me, sir, my life changed because I chose a wrong topic or the right topic, whatever works. Most people want to be heroes. Hero complexion will be there, right? Alpha male. Yes, I want to write something which most people won't write. I want to be that hero. Okay, that is the doom. Why? If everybody writes the same topic, how will examiner know you are good? I mean, you are good in essay writing. Actually, that is when the examiner will actually appreciate. Why? If everybody is writing at this level, your SF is in this level, automatically he will reward you more than what you deserve. Think about it. If everybody is writing the same topic, in spite of that, your essay stood out. He will appreciate you more. And if everybody is choosing, see again, everybody who is writing mains, 10,000 people are writing mains, there are 8,000 at least good people as smart as you. If you are smart, they are also smart. If they are choosing a particular topic, there might be reasons like dimensions. Probably they must have pre-prepared it. Artificial intelligence. Some Sara told this will be the most expected essay topic. Everybody prepared. So everybody will write AI. still you have to stand out. So don't choose that unique topic which will be your Waterloo. Okay. And second thing, we will practice all these things. Don't go for optional bias. Last year also there was a topic which was directly from PSIR, I guess. The moment you saw the topic, most people, I mean, I hope you haven't chosen it, but if you directly chose that PSIR topic, what will happen? What was the topic? Yes, reality is rationality, rational is real, right? Hegel's statement. So the moment you see it as a PSIR student, you will be tempted to choose the topic. But beyond one paragraph, what will you elaborate? Yeah. So optional bias is a very common thing. And remember, essay is a generalistic topic, not a specialistic topic. That means your language, words, choice, everything should be very, very general in nature. And last one, don't choose an essay which has a low scope for dimension. Wisdom finds truth. Okay. Wisdom finds truth. Will you choose the topic? Or simplicity is the ultimate sophistication? Will you choose the topic? Or will you choose, ships don't sink because of water around them, that topic? If you give me an option, personally, I will choose that option where ships don't sink, because ships can be a lot of things. Ships can be a personal life, a business, a nation, a institution, an organization, education, UPSC attempts. Yes or no? No? Ships can be a lot of things. So dimensionality is more in the topic. So choose always the topics with maximum scope and dimensions. Don't box yourself with topics like wisdom finds truth. The moment you see 3 words topic, try to run as far away as possible. And next, one simple thing you need to understand is UPSC essay are 2 types. One is opinion oriented, the other one is information oriented. For example, science and technology is a panacea for India's problems. That is an informative essay. Mostly it's an informative essay. That means you will use how technology is helping India. It may not solve all the problems, it will solve from some problems. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. All these things are repeated things you will throw at my face. Okay, so will everybody else. So information essay, everybody know, right? How science and technology is helping agriculture, education, e-vidya. That is informative essay. No logic needed. All you need is excellent content, wonderful examples. Okay. Then comes opinion essays. Men have failed. Let women rule. What will you say? Men have failed. Let women rule. Is it informative? No. It's informative, no? It's opinion, right? Either you agree or you disagree. That is purely your personal choice. I will say yes, 80% men have failed, useless fellows, 20%. I mean, I will give enough arguments that men have failed. That is 20%. Then why women should rule? I will argue for 80% of my essay, apart from intro conclusion. This can be my choice, or you want to be technically safe, 50-50. You will say why men have failed. Then 50% of the essay you will argue why women should rule. This will change from person to person depending on the depth of your argument. Yes or no? So always remember opinion essays. Like India is a soft power. That is also an opinionated essay, right? You either agree or disagree. What is your percentage of disagreement? See, all these essays that I'm saying are previous year UPSC questions. Okay. Again, good fences make good neighbors. Good fences make good neighbors. That is also an opinionated essay. So opinion essays are the problem. Informative essays are not the problem. That is where you have to develop with practice. Opinion or information. Right. And quickly we will move on to how to choose a topic. Clarity of the keywords. See, ships, sink, and water. These are the 3 things. Yeah. So if I understand the topic properly, let's say Indians are hypocrites. Indians are hypocrites. Or science and technology is a panacea. Okay. If I don't know the English meaning of the word panacea or hypocrite, it is highly suggested that you don't touch the topic. If you misunderstand the very word that what is panacea, or silver bullet. Artificial intelligence is the silver bullet to India's $5 trillion economy. If you don't understand the exact meaning of the term $5 trillion, please don't choose such topic. Why? UPSC essay is not the words, it's the essence. Okay, you have to understand both the words and the essence of the topic. Be the change you wish to see in the world. That is a very simple thing. But in complicated topics like last year, okay, research is a blind date, right? That one topic. Or there are better practices to best practices. If you don't understand the essence and the individual keywords, please don't choose such topic. Try to go for something simple. Okay, you understand sugarcane and sugarcane juice, right? So you have to understand both the sugarcane and the juice also. That means you have to understand the entire essence of the topic while understanding the individual keywords. If you don't, please choose something else or read the Hindi version. If you are good in Hindi, then probably you'll understand the exact meaning of what that particular essay is trying to argue. So next, content clarity should be there. Okay, and if you are a sociology student, if you are choosing a woman topic, then if you want to take the stand of yes, I don't agree with the patriarchy, or patriarchy is a very real thing, then you take that stand very firmly. You have to go with the conviction part. You should not have half-minded approach. You have to give either 100% or nothing. Okay, only when you believe something that you can write properly, right? If you yourself are confused or not 100% convinced that I will say something good, okay, then the reader will not appreciate what you are trying to say. Okay, so whatever you write taking a firm stand. Stand is very, very important. Okay, and as he said, rightly said, UPSC essay is all about originality. Now, what is originality? Again, if you write the essay course, I will definitely show. I have told you so. Okay, I will literally show each and every one of you all these things in your own copies. Don't worry. Right? We will have fun while evaluating, not while discussing. That is where the true progress happens. Okay, what is originality? The other day, while I was coming to Ashok Nagar, my problem. Okay, so I saw the clouds and I was thinking, is it cumulonimbus or cirrus? Okay, I cannot just see a cloud like a cloud. My first thought is, what is it, cumulonimbus or cirrus? Okay, so in the same way, if you are seeing something in newspaper on the road, talking to your friend, do you develop that thought process? Do you develop that original voice? Yes or no? Right? Yesterday or day before yesterday, BCCI sold the sports prize for one of the highest prices, right? 45,000 crores something. In a developing country like India, people are willing to spend 50,000 crores on sports and franchise related things. What are we saying? Is inequality increasing? Did you stop and think? Yes, the bulldozer issue that is happening. Okay, what is rule of law? What is the deafening silence of judiciary? Again, you can criticize the government or support the government or whatever, but every time you see something in the newspapers or in your day-to-day life, are you bringing that to the thought process, the discussion? Is it making you a better person? The simplest thing, CSAT paper. Okay, most of us have studied from English medium schools. Normally speaking, I'm not generalizing, normally speaking, but what is the single biggest weakness for most of the students? Comprehensions. Reading comprehensions. Forget about answering it. Sir, it takes huge time for me to just read the comprehension. I have studied my entire life in English medium. What does that tell about our education system? Again, it's your opinion, right? Whatever I'm trying to tell you is, do you think in those lines? If you think in those lines every day from now, 90 days are left for the essay, right? On the 91st day, when you go and sit in the exam hall and bring that original voice, it will always be unique. And why this originality matters is, especially in intro part, if you prepare an intro, I have seen toppers saying, read Yojana, copy paste the intro, directly write it there. Okay, there are chances at least 10 other people will do that. But if you bring something that happened in your own life, 99.9% guaranteed, no other paper in the 10,000 copies have the same intro. That is your life story. And that is how you are seeing the world. Okay, so the simplest way to understand UPSC essay is, while you are going to a 3D movie, they will give you 3D glasses. Yes or no? In the same way, when you are entering the UPSC exam hall, okay, you wear your lens. This is you, your originality, and then you reflect the topic in your own eyes. That is what I want to see. Such kind of essays will get a wonderful score. Yes, everything has to filter through your brain and come out in the, see, everybody will write the same Mother Teresa, but what am I writing about Mother Teresa? How convinced am I about Mother Teresa service to the country, right? When you read, automatically and understand, right, this person is writing from, top of his mind, or this person actually believes whatever he or she is writing. Okay, and I told you, right, 175 marks in essay. Go and read her introduction. Okay, it is a very simple, straightforward introduction, and she doesn't use any technical jargon, and when you read it, you actually connect with the topic 100%. That kind of simplicity comes only through daily practice. So essay is not some writing practice alone. Essay is thought process also. If you change your thinking, automatically your scores will improve. Okay, right. Again, this part is called as essay blueprint. This is very, very essential, especially in philosophical essays. Essay blueprint is an important thing. Why? The very moment I choose a topic, I have to write 1,000 words. Okay, be the change you wish to see in the world. Again, very simple topic, all of you can understand. I have to write 1,000 words on that one question, or can I break that question into 5 small questions? Ships don't sink, or ships sink because of the water that comes. So my first question is, why do ships sink? Okay, was I careless? Was I not attentive? Okay, do my ship has to sink so that I can learn the lessons, or can I learn from other lessons also? Titanic sank. Okay, did I learn anything from Titanic? Am I doing the mistakes myself? Am I reinventing the wheel, or am I learning from others' mistakes? Okay, be better practices to best practice. What is better practice, or what is best practice? Who decided what is the best practice? What are the issues with the best practices? How can we make best practices better practices? So like this, if I ask sub questions, if I ask 3 or 4 smaller questions, if I have 5 small questions under the major topic, what happened? Now I am writing 200 words each for every small question. Then at the end, what happened? Those 5 questions will become your side headings. The 200 words will become your intro, a body conclusion. You have 1,000 words. Either you write 1,000 words for one big question, or you break down one big question into 5 small questions and address them. Still you are doing the right thing. Yes or no? Science and technology is a solution to India's problems. What are the major problems that are bothering India? How science and technology can help? Can science and tech solve all the problems? What do we need apart from science and tech? Then conclusion. I have got 4 questions, right? So that is where I address the essay in small parts. Anything can be achieved when we break it into small units. So instead of bothering about one big topic, what am I doing? I'm changing everything into 3 or 4 small questions. Again, this will come only through practice. Okay, think about it, right? So that part is called as brainstorming. Brainstorming is breaking the big essay into small essays, throwing the dimensions, right? Okay, now the most important thing is macro structure and micro points. As I said, macro structure is those 5 questions, micro structure is 4 points. Now can anyone tell me what is the importance of thesis statement? Okay, yes, abstract of entire essay. Okay, setting the tone. Okay, essence of the essay. Essence, what do you do in intro? In intro also you do the same thing, right? You set the tone, you set the essence, you are telling the examiner this is what I understood. What exactly does thesis statement do? All of you know thesis statement, right? After intro you see a paragraph where people will write, in this essay I'm going to discuss this, page number 42. Sorry, connectivity. Oh, okay, I will discuss connectivity. That is all correct in a way, but actually in reality, the evaluator and you connect in the paper, right? I don't know whether you are a boy or a girl, whether you are from IIT or from a second class degree holder. The only thing I know is whatever you have written on the paper. Okay, you and I meet on the paper. You are setting a benchmark for me. You are reducing or increasing my expectations. Okay, that is where our frequencies should match. Think about it. Again, I will tell you a simple example. There are best practices to better practices. Okay, that is a philosophical topic. Okay, now in the thesis statement, if it is a philosophical essay, if I'm expecting best practices to have this level of dimensions, like there are a lot of best practices out there, this person should address everything. Okay, but when I start reading your essay, you just discussed only about an individual. In my home or in my personal life, there is a best practice. I never read for more than 3 hours. I still graduated, but in UPSC I was forced to read 8 hours. Yes or no? Okay, so if you are only talking about individual level, then somewhere don't you think the examiner will be disappointed? Then he will measure you based on his expectation. I wanted 6 or 7 dimension. This fellow only wrote about individual. It's not wrong. Whatever you have written is not wrong, right? But my expectations are somehow disappointed. So your scores will also come down. But after introduction itself, if you can convince the examiner in the thesis statement, see, I'm going to write only about individual, then you are immediately bringing the examiner's benchmarks to your level. And then he will measure on your level. Especially in philosophical essays, this works. Okay, in science and technology essay, no person will go to mains hall at least and say, science and technology is totally useless. Right? Everybody knows what is to be expected. First, he will praise, yes, science and technology solves a lot of problems. Then you will say, still some work is there, so on and so forth. So your structure or expectations are not an issue. But in philosophy, how will I have a benchmark? Thesis statement is your benchmark. Got it? Okay. Right. I told you the brainstorming part, right? Like you have to have some micro questions. Then the micro questions needs some points. There are multiple ways to brainstorm. Like you can throw every keyword you can think about that particular topic. Then you can mark I, intro, B, body. This is conclusion. This part goes into conclusion. This part goes into body part. This part goes into introduction. That comes naturally. But anyone who have practiced more than 10 essays, you will easily overcome this. Okay. And always remember, your brainstorming page or the last rough work page that they give in the UPSC exam hall should be your prototype essay. That is your blueprint. That means if you skim back to the last rough work page while you're writing in the middle, you should be able to see the entire structure of the essay just as a bird's eye view. Okay, this is my intro part. This is body. In body, science dimension, education dimension, health dimension is there. Am I addressing all the points? So it should be very clean, crisp, so that you should not miss any point. What students sometimes do is they brainstorm fantastically. That means for 20-25 minutes they brainstorm, but they don't bring all the points into the main body part. So what is the point of wasting 5 minutes when you're not going to write it in the main essay? Right? So your own blueprint should be very clean. And if I'm the examiner, I will also see the brainstorming page. This fellow has done fantastic work. That means it's a good idea. And he was able to bring whatever he thought. I will appreciate it more. Okay. So blueprint carries a huge weight for your own sake. And quickly, why introduction? There is an effect called as primacy effect and recency effect. First impression is the best impression. So if you directly hit the nail on the head without any beating around the bush, okay, examiner will be heavily impressed. That carries, it's a two-way, it's a double-edged sword. Why? If your intro is this level, then your body should also be in the same level, right? But if your intro is fantastic, then your body part is somewhere else. Okay, I will be actually disappointed. You gave a very high expectation to me in the starting itself, sir. Please look at my essay, and I gave you high hopes. Then from the body part, I'm disappointing you. That will backfire. Okay, and it goes without saying that anybody who prepared properly the body part also will have a very good intro most of the times. Right. Next, as you were saying, before thesis statement itself, what most people don't do is they throw a story or anecdote at the face of the examiner and they move on to the thesis and the body part. Okay, that is actually not continuity. Why? You have to tell why you wrote that story. Yes or no? Just throwing the story at the face of the examiner is not a good intro. You have to link it to the topic. You have to tell at the end of the story, see, this is how Ramu is being the change he wishes to see in the world. Or this is how science have solved some problems in India. You have to mention it then and there only. Okay, so intro have 3 layers. The first layer is write something relevant. You can write n number of introductions, quotes, anecdotes, stories, dialogue approach. Dialogue approach means Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah talking about national security. Prime Minister Modi, what is the issue with Naxals? Amit Shah, he will say something. So you can say, this is something I have read in the newspaper. As a dialogue, you can start. As an anecdote, you can start. Stories, quotes. Some topper in 2017 or 18 got good scores with some quote, some poem she wrote on her own poem. Next year, what happened? Everybody became poets. It worked for her. She have a natural flair for writing poems. Like, if you don't know, then just directly enter the point, right? If you literally directly enter the point also, no one will bother. No one will be bothered. But if you want a good intro, story is always the best place to start, at least for beginners. Okay, at the end of the story, please make sure you tell the examiner, this is how I am seeing this particular topic, and that is why I'm reinforcing this particular intro. Then comes the thesis part. Okay, intro carries a lot of weight. Okay, and in the very first page, please don't make silly mistakes like writing the wrong report name or wrong rank, spelling mistakes or grammatical mistakes, at least in the first page. Later on, it's totally fine. Okay, ease of doing business is issued by IMF. Write very confidently. Please don't do that, at least in the first page. Okay, next. Again, as I said, if you write your own original story, it will be a very fantastic intro. So this is my old chart that I have prepared. Some of you must have seen it. This is called as primacy effect and recency effect. What is primacy effect and recency effect? If your intro, body and conclusion, that means if you are reaching the examiner's attention in the very beginning, and if you can maintain it throughout, you'll get fantastic scores. But you wrote a good intro, but the body part went bad, or vice versa, then what will happen? Your scores will automatically go out. Okay. See, UPSC aspirants who write mains are a breed of their own self. They are smart people, I know that. But within us, there are someone better. Okay. So please be humble enough to imagine that you are in that yellow line, the dark yellow one. We will move towards the light yellow one. Got it? Average. The biggest problem in UPSC is to maintain that average. Essay 135, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 100, 100, 100, optional 270. You will be in the service. But tell me how many of you know the stories which are opposite to this? Any one paper or one thing will happen. Yes or no? If not GS paper, CSAT will be the thing. The problem is average. Get 19 GS, 19 CSAT or 17 CSAT for sure. Will be there. But we will either focus too much on GS. Next year, if we fail CSAT this year, what will we do? We will do PhD in CSAT. What happens in the next year? GS border. Average is the problem. It's the average that matters in the UPSC. Okay. Again, this is just personal opinion. I know 2 students who got 150 plus on a consistent basis for 3 years back to back. 1 year is fluke, right? 3 years is not a joke. So if somebody can do that, you can also do that. All you need is that consistency. Yes, thesis I told you, right? What is the importance of thesis? Right. Okay. In simple terms, I will tell you the body part. Body part means the first things we will remember is dimensions and examples. And in the recent times, one more thing you need to add is the scope. What is the scope of the essay? Men have failed. Let women rule. So you have to make that essay as big as possible, right? In dimensions wise. If you only talk about politics, is your scope broader or narrow? Very narrow. then how do you expand the scope of the essay? Sorry? Yes, again, that is the scope, right? That is where we have to add more scope to the topic. If you only focus mostly on politics, Panchayati Raj, Ministry of Ministers and all these things, it is not going to add value. Okay, even in the areas where you can write about value addition, okay, you have to improve the scope. Next, body is the actual thing that differentiates you between the others. Next is analysis is missing in most of the copies. What do I mean by analysis? Analysis means a data driven by argument. See, imagine metro pillars. These are facts. Okay, if you are writing a woman essay, you know National Family Health Survey. What is the data for women? Okay, you know, let's say census data. You know Ministry of Women and Child data. So you have some facts. This is UN data. Okay, based on this data, you can construct the metro pillars, right? I mean the metro track. The track will go smoothly. But if you don't have data, the facts or numbers or some codes, okay, creating the argument will become very difficult. You are not analyzing it. Whatever you are going to give is opinion. The most common problem I hear in the first batches, whenever I start the newspaper classes, the first statement I make is India is a patriarchal society. Then some emotional guy will stand up and say, sir, how do you generalize? Okay, this has happened more than once. Okay, then I have to give him some data. So in the essay, if you are writing generally, that is purely your opinion. Unless you have some IAS or Rangarajan or Amartya Sen or Nobel laureate or something like that beside your name, whatever you and I are going to say is just pure opinion. So don't write opinions, write analysis. In essay, most of the times we mistake opinion for analysis, and that is when we expect good scores. Okay, sir, I don't have a original thinking. What do I do? You hide behind some thinker. Whenever you open your mouth, you open it with by saying, sir, Amartya Sen said this, Raja Mohan said this, Rangarajan said this. Okay, our Prime Minister Modi said this, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, inclusive growth. When Manmohan says it's inclusive growth, then Prime Minister says it's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Same things, right? So always hide behind someone. If you're not confident enough, if you don't have numbers, hide behind their opinions and give your opinion. Okay, but don't just write generically. That is where the problem arises. Okay, and again, you have to be clear in whatever you are saying. There is a concept called as Trikarana Suddhi, right? Trikarana means what you think, what you say, and what you do are should be same. Okay, that is what Trikarana Suddhi is. In essay also, it's more or less the same thing. That means what you are thinking, what you are putting on the paper, what I am reading should be same. But actually what happens is what you are thinking is not what you are writing. What you are writing is not what I am understanding. So there is a gap between your knowledge transfer to me. That is where you lose the scores. So that discom losses should come down. Yes or no? Yes. Uday scheme. No? Yeah. Right. Sorry. Updated old version. I'm outdated. Okay. Right. Yeah. Examples make all the difference in the world, and the most recent trend is adding bureaucrats examples or Padma Shri award examples. If you write examples that connect with the examiner, which he probably have heard about it. If you are talking about environment, okay, don't write about Greta Thunberg. I'm not saying she's not good. Write about Tulsi Gowda. Again, no partiality here, just saying, okay, no Bharatiyata. Tulsi Gowda is very contemporary example, and she connects with a lot of Indians. Probably examiner will also connect with her. Who is Tulsi Gowda? She's an environmentalist from a rural part of the Karnataka where yes, right? She have grown a lot of forest on her own efforts. She is encouraging a lot of people to do or follow her path selflessly. Yes, right? So a normal person, a layman, elevated to the level of environmentalist through her own interests. Okay, when you write about Greta Thunberg, it becomes little bit cliche. That means I'm blind to the name. You get it right? And whenever, I don't know, for whatever reasons, people think about education, they always go to Malala. Again, her hard work or her credit won't go away anywhere, but you can find some more contemporary examples. Some collector in Bastar is struggling a lot to educate the rural people there. Maybe he or she have done some innovative thing to promote education. Bring her or him to the discussion. Okay, it adds more value. What I'm trying to tell you is, even in examples, there is something called as ad nausea, right? That means if you see the same billboard for 10 days, on the 11th day you won't even notice that it's there, right? In the same way, a examiner, if he's reading Mother Teresa, Malala, 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 he will get blinded by that. I mean, he won't even feel that high. So add examples which will give you that high. Okay, and this part is where you have to work hard. Okay, try to find examples from some uncommon sources with your own hard work. If you again buy some magazine with 150 examples, what is the problem? The same 150 examples will be written by everyone. You don't get any marks. We are nullifying our hard work. All this sounds very silly, but this is actually what makes all the difference in the world. And again, dimensions. Your syllabus copy itself is a dimension, right? If you take any topic, think in all these dimensions, you'll get 10 different examples on its own. Be the change you wish to see in the world. In policy or politic context, how will I see? International relation context, how will I see? Or IR wise, how will I see? Vaccine Maitri India. Vaccine nationalism, other countries. India is being the change it wants to see in the world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Simple, right? Okay. Again, dimensions, all of you know, I'm not spending too much time on the dimensions. But one more thing you can add in the dimensions is polity, economy, history are dimensions, but layers. What are layers? When you write a particular topic, ships example, okay, you can start with individuals all the way till Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What do I mean by that? For example, a ship can be an individual, a ship can be a family, a ship can be a community, a ship can be a society, right? What else a ship can be? A ship can be an organization, a ship can be an institution, a ship can be a nation, state, yes, or collective humanity. Yes, humanity is a ship which is silent on Yemen war, Afghanistan war, and the Russia-Ukraine war. Collectively, we are sinking on a humanitarian level. Why? We are allowing the water of hatred to come into the picture. So what is the solution? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Any crime anywhere, any human right violation anywhere has to be stopped. That is when ships don't sink. That can be one layer. So this is layers. You are increasing the impact. You are starting all the way from your own individual experiences. You are ending up with global problems. That is a logical order. Not only dimensions, this logical order will also help you. You don't have to explicitly say internationally or nationally or society wise. You can just bring the example. Social harmony is a ship which is sinking right now in India because of the water called as, the polluted water called as communalism. Yes or no? It's up to you how you put or what examples you are taking for. Okay, this is something that I cannot teach you, right? You have to think how many dimensions can the ships be. Automatically, you have improved the scope of the essay. You have added more dimensions. You are making it more entertaining. Got the point? So that is called as impact creation or layers. Always remember, layers is very important. And one more common mistake is people write one dimension, 6 examples. One dimension, multiple examples is not a good essay. Multiple dimensions is a good essay. What do I mean by that? Let's say, be the change you wish to see in the world. Mother Teresa, Thomas Alva Edison, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, India. You are writing the same dimension, right? Like that I have to be good person to help you. You are just changing the names, but the theme is same. Then I didn't add anything else. Okay, then what is dimension? Dimension means asking the question, why is it so hard for people to be changed they want to see in the world? Everybody knows taking bribe is a wrong thing, but still why is corruption increasing? Everybody knows violating traffic signal is wrong, but why don't we stop at red signal at 11 p.m.? 11 a.m. photographer will be there, so you will stop. 11 p.m. Why is it hard for you to stop at red signal at 11 p.m.? Did you ask yourself that question? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Saying is easy. What is making me difficult to follow that? Okay, that is dimension. Okay, how do we promote that culture again is dimension. Writing 6 names under one heading is just examples. Okay, improve the dimensions. Okay, again, as I said, you can either agree, you can disagree, or you can mix and match. Whatever it is totally up to your own conviction levels. Now, what is conclusion? So, as discussed above, hence, that is not conclusion, that is GS. Okay, conclusion is reverting back to the topic. For example, ships example, if you take, you wrote some intro, then you have to link it back to the conclusion. You link back your conclusion back to the intro and say, see, if India implements science and technology more seriously, it will reap the rewards. It will become a $5 trillion economy soon. You are giving an optimistic, futuristic vision to the examiner. Okay, as a district collector, your job is to solve the problems, right? So problem solver mindset is the most important thing. Okay, so you will actually know there are tons and tons of problems. Caste is a problem in India. Everybody knows that. Okay, but we cannot come to a conclusion that that problem will never be solved. Then you are not solving anything. As a district collector, you have to believe that one day, with all our collective efforts, communalism will come down, casteism will come down. Right? So that optimistic choice should be your thought process. If you yourself write an essay saying, none of these things are going to matter, India is a hopeless country, this is only for UPSC marks I am writing. No, right? We cannot write that. So you have to actually believe that India is changing. Indians will change. As Nelson Mandela says, if hate can be thought, so can be love. Yes or no? So that is hope. That is optimism. And he actually practiced what he did. And that is why South Africa is a much better country now. So hope is a good thing. Perhaps the greatest of the things. And no good thing ever dies. Who said that? Who said that? Shawshank Redemption and a Dufresne. Okay, fine. So yeah. And if you start an essay about patriarchy, you can conclude by saying there is our own Zareen who won the boxing championship. Yes or no? She had issues both from community members and male members saying that you should not dress like this, you should not enter into such sports. She proved everybody wrong. So if India is a patriarchal country, we also have an examples to show India is changing. Yes. So that is how conclusion is. Conclusion should prove that yes, India is changing. Final nail in the coffin. Katam, we are changing. Are Indian women not progressing? No, they are progressing. So conclusion should be very, very hopeful and optimistic. Not, India will be $1 is equal to 1 rupee. Not such optimism. Okay. So India will be good. India will become $5 trillion economy soon. Okay. When? Have you watched that press conference of the present economics advisor of India? On the budget day, Nirmala Sitharaman and 4 other IAS officers and economic advisor was sitting, and somebody from the press asked him, what is his name? Anant Venkateshwaran, I guess, right? Venkateshwaran. So he was asked, when will India become $5 trillion economy? Without flinching, without even thinking for a second, he said 2025, 26. That should be your confidence level when you write the conclusion. He knows. Okay, but he said it with such conviction. I was convinced. Yes, by 2025, India will be a $5 trillion economy. That should be your optimism. Go watch that video. Just that clip, if I find, I will share it with you. Okay, you should have that optimism. Whenever you are in doubt, watch that video. If economic advisor on a press conference can say India can become a $5 trillion economy by 2025, why can't I get 150 in UPSC essay? No, it is much doable. Yes. And this is where the track has to change. These are some basic suggestions. Again, as I said, you have to practice one essay to understand whatever I'm saying. simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Half of the aspirants did not understand what that quote meant. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So what is UPSC expecting from you? Again, don't complicate. I will give you a very simple example, my favorite example. Imagine yourself standing beside a minister. He came to your district, you are a SDM or a DM. Okay, he is a central minister, he came to your district. He will ask you, what are the problems in your district? You will say, sir, my district name is this. There are 14,000 square kilometers of forest. My district's history is this. Will you start like that? Will he listen to you? What will he say? Order the chai and biryani, I will go and sleep, right? He will be bored to death. What will you do? Sir, this is my district name. Our TFR is this. Or we have an Naxal problem. Or we have a water problem. You will directly enter into the bullet points, right? No discussion, no beating around the bush. Yes, that is simplicity. For your own understanding, don't bore the examiner to death with your technical superior knowledge. Okay, I know people who have read hundreds and thousands of novels in UPSC and still they will write very simply. Yes, the favorite quote of UPSC aspirant, right? A DAF form. What is your hobby? Reading books. Which book did you read? Lakshmikant. No, that is not a hobby, right? Okay, you are forced to read Lakshmikant. Yes or no? So maintain things very, very simply. Okay, simplicity is very, very difficult to achieve. But actually, the day you write simply, you'll get more marks. I can give you a number of examples again through your own copies. Next, again, if you write technical stuff, one of my students, he's a very good student. He found this term skyboxification. He loves that term very nicely. Okay, skyboxification. Have you heard about it? Okay, it's a term given by Peter Singer, the famous ethics professor in Harvard. Okay, skyboxification means what we say in Telugu, right? Nela class, balcony class. That means, 5 rupees ticket and a balcony ticket, 250 rupees ticket. There is a difference between an ordinary class and the people who sit in balcony. So skybox is a box in baseball games in US. Okay. So if I write skyboxification, if the examiner knows it, he will appreciate me like anything. If he doesn't know the term, what will happen? He won't Google, right? He is not a UPSC mentor to reward you. He is paid per minute or per hour or per paper per evaluation. Why will he bother to understand what is skyboxification or fantastic beta good work? He won't do that. Okay, so if you go for such technicalities, write it in simple terms. There is an inequality between India's middle class and the lower middle class, which can be clearly shown in the way they consume the data or the way things they buy. Yes, I hope you understand. See, everybody knows Marcus Brownie, right? MKBHD. At least I hope you know MKBHD on YouTube, the phone reviewer. Yes or no? He is one of the largest phone reviewers. I mean, he's one of the largest followed YouTubers, right? So everybody will watch iPhone 13 videos and iPhone 14 videos, okay, on the day of the release, or Tesla cars. Okay, what do we buy when we go to the shop? Huawei, Xiaomi. Yes or no? Our reality. But what do we like to watch? iPhone 14 unboxing. New update came for iPhone 14. I will never use the iPhone. Why do I need to watch its unboxing? But still, go and see the number of views. You'll be surprised. Yes or no? So keep things very simple, very down to the earth, ground reality. You'll get good scores. The moment you start to fly, that is where scores will go wrong. And you have to maintain that natural, organic, simple flow. I have to hear your voice. When I read your essay, I have to see Sahil's voice. When I read some Pravin's essay, I have to hear Pravin's voice. If I read somebody else's voice, okay, it's not a good essay. Example, if I ask you to write what is happiness as per you, in many of my classes, I do this exercise. What is happiness as per you? 9 out of the 10 students start with Gandhiji said this. Ambedkar said that. What is the question says? According to you, you ignored that. What is happiness? Yes or no? For me, having a tea is happiness. Eating in the rain is happiness. Or having time with friends is happiness. Why do I need to know what Gandhiji loves? No, right? Okay. And one more thing commonsensically is write examples which are old and new. old and new means, if I think about India's achievement or India's progress, I will definitely write about, you know, new initiatives by Prime Minister Modi, but I will also write 1991. Why? As a human being, I want reinforcement of what I know plus value addition. When I read your essay, Are Tulsi Gowda, I never knew, Are very nice, I feel happy, but at the same time I want to know about someone else, right? Or I want to know that ancient Indians were environmental friendly, they have sustainable thoughts. Yes or no? Both old examples plus new examples will make me very happier. Again, this is not my own words. There was a person who worked as a secretary in UPSC. He gave a video clip, 7 minutes video clip on YouTube on how papers are evaluated. In that he explains that you have to give both old and new examples to get higher scores. Only new examples backfire, only old examples backfire. For example, women empowerment, Razia Sultana, Rani Lakshmi Bai. Fine, write them. Also write Nikat Zarin. Okay, old and new things matter. Okay, all these nuts and bolts actually help. Okay, next, always be compassionate or honest in when you write an example. Okay, why compassion is a very, very powerful tool in writing. When you write something from your heart, okay, it connects with the reader. Okay, I will actually understand whether you are doing it for money or job or anything else. Okay, compassion carries a lot of weight. At the same time, don't consider it as oxymoron. Don't be emotional. Emotional means women empowerment. You got a fire, you are a feminist. Okay, capitalism is evil of the society. Khatam, from starting to ending. Or India is a good country. From starting to ending, good. Somewhere India has some issues, right? We have to discuss them also. Don't be emotional. Compassion is a thought process, whereas emotional is being emotional. Okay, and mention she, him, her, all these things, basics, you know, right? You can also write not only X, not only Y. That means India is not only having this problem. You can also think in these lines. While patriarchy is still there, people are also being empowered. While Haryana is considered as, you know, having a lot of patriarchy, honor killings, Haryana also produces a lot of sports persons, right? The same places, it will add more value. And next, presentation alone is not going to get marks. I have seen people use blue and black pen, quotes will be highlighted, design flowers, underlining and all those things. They will add 1 or 2 marks, but that alone is not going to get you high marks. Next, common sense is you have 8 topics, right? In the essay, you have written 1 or 2 topics. The rest of the 6 topics are not touched. While you are writing that very essay, use examples from the same question paper. Use the other essays as a side headings. Examiner will think, this person is very quick in understanding the demand. He not only saw the topic now, he incorporated it very well in this as a side heading. You got the drift? In the question paper, there are 8 topics. You are writing 1 topic. There are 7 empty topics, right? Which you are not addressing them. Try to use at least 1 or 2 in your own essay. In the real exam hall, what will happen? It shows a spontaneity. Okay, or there are 150 previous questions in UPSC old papers, right? You mug up all those topics. Most of them are quotes. You can use them as side headings. That will add a lot of weightage to the essay. Okay, and lastly, my favorite one, no red flag is a red flag. You have shown your essay to 10 people. Nobody criticized it. Nobody praised it. That is the biggest blunder. Why? Your essay is so manipulated, mechanistic, that everything that I have said, you have covered, but it doesn't have a soul. I wanted to criticize on your intro. Your intro is decent. Okay, you have intro, body, conclusion, side headings. You have done everything mechanically. There is nothing to criticize structure-wise. Okay, but organically, I don't like your essay somehow. You got my drift? Whatever I told you, like till now, whatever mistakes you will make, you rectified all those mistakes, but still your essay doesn't speak from the heart. That is a big problem. That means the real examiner is also going to feel the same. He is not going to connect with your essay and he's not going to give marks. Okay, that's one more problem. And why mental makeup is very important. There is always someone better than us. When I show your copy to someone else's copy, he will always think I wrote better than that person. But in reality, when the marks come, The person whom we thought as a dumb person actually got more score. Person who thought himself as very smart got less score. Why? He didn't adapt. He didn't change as per the timings. So there is always scope for improvement. What I call as Dhoni principle, right? There is always scope. If you are getting 150 consistently, you have chance to go to 170. If you are getting 170, push it to 175. Never stop believing that there is, my essay has reached a perfection stage. That can never happen. That should never happen. There is always someone better than us. So we have to keep working harder, harder, harder. Okay. Next. You will hear 10,000 things like intro, body, conclusion, presentation, and all those things. When you're writing something very naturally, fantastically, don't break it for anybody's sake. Sarah told you side headings. Okay. But in this particular topic, you have such a wonderful natural flow that you don't have to use side headings. It's going fantastically. Then don't please break that flow for side headings. Writing is an art. Once you start that flow, you can feel that I'm writing a good essay, right? Please don't break that flow. If you break that flow, it will be like two essays patched together. Okay. That is a common mistakes people do. And being humble adds more marks. Why? When we are humble, we think that we have more examples to learn, more practice to do, more introspection to do, will add marks. But if I give you 120 and you think, I am better than whatever sir has evaluated, then there is no improvement. We cannot fill we cannot fill a full bottle. We can only fill a empty bottle. If you already feel that, my essay is fantastic, I don't need any rectification, either it's true or you are fooling yourself. If it's true, 150 plus, you are in service, happy for you. If you fooled yourself, 110 plus, you are not in service, your mistake. Right? Next. Okay. Again, as I said, magazines, quotes, throwing the quotes at the face of the examiner. See, today morning itself, I have evaluated an essay copy and an ethics copy. That student started every ethics copy with a quote. Somebody told him that start every ethics answer with a quote. It works. Is it meaningful? He didn't even think. Someone told write a quote. I'm writing a quote. Khatam. You have to give me marks. It doesn't work like that. Just because you wrote a fantastic essay with a lot of quotes, I'm not going to give you marks. It has to gel well to the topic. Okay, presentation has limitations. Grammar, spelling mistakes, don't even bother about them. 9 out of 10 students will make grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes occasionally. So handwriting, all these silly mistakes are not even something to be bothered unless they are very, very regular. Like in every second line, you have a grammatical or a spelling mistake. Okay, please don't bother about the trivial things. Okay, and you have to write for 3 hours. It is not an easy task. Mental strength is very, very important. That means first half an hour you brainstormed, wrote an essay. Then again you have to brainstorm and write an essay. It will exhaust you like anything. Okay, so you have to practice full length tests in August. We'll come to that in the later stages. Okay, and there is no one way to write an essay. Right? If even if I tell you like, this, you have to write only in this way, you'll get scores. I am fooling you or I'm lying to you. You can always have your own unique voice and you can write and still get fantastic scores. So don't only follow one path. A topper got score by writing a poem. Let her follow that path. You are very good at stories. You follow your path. Okay, you should not compromise yourself for somebody, and you should think from future perspective, right? If tomorrow you get 160 marks in essay, everybody will be reading your mock copies, right? Then everybody will try to emulate you. So you should not lose yourself for somebody else's sake. That is the single biggest thing. Got it? Okay. And finally, the most important part, sources. This is a very trimmed down or a diluted sources list, but as a person, you must have 10,000 things in your school, in your college, in your day-to-day life, your friends circle, their stories. You must have heard thousands of stories. Yes or no? You bring everything you can think of and write an essay. Write as many movies as possible. In Tare Zameen Par, fantastically, Amir Khan has showed how parenting in this country does not know that there are some mental disorders. Write that. Yes. Or there is a movie called as, I forgot its name. It's a Malayalam movie. It's about the kitchen or something. The Great Indian Kitchen, right? They talk about patriarchy, or that RJ Balaji's movie about Nayanthara. They talk about how women are not empowered properly. Write them. It gives you an edge. TV series, write them. Okay. Again, don't even think, sir, should I write? People have written it. People actually got good scores. Okay. I hope you must have seen wonderful movies like Revenant, Climax of Shawshank Redemption, or Inglorious Bastards. There are 10,000 examples where wonderful movies starts with fantastic introductions, right? Yes or no? Schindler's List. You try to bring such punchlines to the introduction, quotes. If you don't do anything, just download the transcript of last 20-25 Man Ki Baat, Prime Minister Modi Man Ki Baat. Okay, he have given lot of example that Indian is doing this here, this Indian is doing that here, or Tulsi Gowda is doing that, or somebody is doing blogging. So you pick all those examples and use them, right? See, you just follow. Again, I am not a supporter of any political party or any individual. What I am trying to tell you is, if you just follow him, also you'll get a lot of examples, right? In Prayag, I told you, I guess, in Kumbh Mela, he washed the feet of the Safai Karamcharis. Okay, or during the launch of that Kashi Vishwanath corridor, he showered the flowers on the people who worked there. So dignity of labor is being respected. No, you can use all these things: movies, stories, books, novels, Twitter. There are handles like Bureaucrats of India, DCs of India, District Collectors of India. There is a dedicated Twitter channel, DCs of India, Better India website, or bureaucracies of India. What they will do is they will keep tweeting, this collector is doing that, that collector is doing this. You collect all that stories. How a collector in some district is using all the used flowers in a temple and creating self-help groups to create agarbatis. Waste to wealth. You take all such examples and then you bring that fantastic flavor of dimensionality to the exam, to the board. You read Harry Potter novels, you learn something there, you bring that. You read some other novel, you bring that. Movies, serials, preferably not Hindi ones, right? Sky is the limit for your creativity. And as an examiner and as a reader, the more new things I read, the more happy I will feel. I didn't know this. Is it happening in India? Wow, fantastic. Oh, the Indian engineers have constructed one of the world's highest bridge. Fantastic. They have constructed a tunnel in one of the most difficult terrains in the world, in Himachal Pradesh. The engineering that went into that is mind blowing. You bring that. You don't have to praise political parties, right? You bring that. You celebrate this creativity. Day on broad daylight in Bihar, they have stolen an iron bridge. Have you read that story? Show me money heist in comparison to that. In Bihar, in rural area, people went in broad daylight. They told 50,000 ton iron bridge. All the money heists in the world cannot even come closer. That is creativity. Indians have a lot of creativity. The problem is we are not bringing it onto the paper. Yes or no? You are aware that iron bridge. Just think, I can steal a bridge. I can sell it. That how does that courage comes? Okay, only in India. Yes, that is the beauty of India. It never stops to surprise you. All you need to do is have that open mind to see a lot of examples. Yes, even in Parivartan channel, I keep posting all such examples, right? The other day, a differently abled student was not able to complete her graduation. Using Article 142, Chief Justice made her graduate. He issued a 142 judgment saying, yes, my judgment is equivalent to a degree certificate. It will be valid. Article 142. Yes. Some other fellow cleared UPS in 2014 because of BMI. He is not getting joining order. 142. Throw it. Such wonderful things happen only in India. So you have to keep an open eye for the newspaper, right? The more you see, the better you write. Okay. That is how you improve your essay. Or else your essay will be like very boring thing. Yes or no? After a point of time, don't you think your Maggie stops being very favorite food? Why? So the problem is not in the Maggie, the problem is in our brains. There are something called as mirror neurons. Mirror neuron means if I see the same thing, or if I eat the same thing, or if I keep reading the same thing again and again, my neurons don't fire. That means they will feel numbness. They won't feel any emotion whatsoever. That is what is happening to the reader. Same Malala, same Mother Teresa, Lakshmi Bai, be the change. Gautama Buddha, a mother brought Gautama Buddha to tell his son not to eat sugar. In place of Gautama Buddha, you will write Swami Vivekananda or Mahatma Gandhi, but the story is same, right? Then I won't have any new high. Okay. Again, this kind of mental tuning is what is more important rather than what you are writing. What you are writing, we will anyhow evaluate in the module, right? But why you have to write something? What is your thought process? What makes you special? Do you read books? Fantastic, bring them. Do you read novels? Bring them. Do you read Better India website? Bring them. Okay. Not only here, it will also help you in GS paper 2 and GS paper 4. So your efforts are not wasted. Okay. So if you have any specific questions, I will be happy to answer. I assumed that most of you know how to write an essay. There is no from scratch, right? Nobody starting from zero level. So everybody must have written at least one essay. So in that flow, I went on macro topics, not in micro dimensions. I have written an entire PDF around 40 pages on what is a good introduction, what is a body. I will share it with you. When you find time, you can read it. I have even added examples from topper copies. Okay, like this. So this is how UPSC essay paper looks like. This is what intro is. This is what brainstorming looks like. Yes, in Adobe is copy only. Yeah. So this is what brainstorming looks like. This is Shubham Kumar's brainstorming. So I have added all these things in this particular PDF. If you have the time, you can look at various kind of introductions also. Like what is the story? What is anecdote? What is code-based introduction? Okay. And one more code-based introduction. Poems. This is dialogic format, questioning format, dialogue format. So like this PDF contains examples also, just to give you an idea on what is a different kind of intro. But again, it will be something that is not for the class. Comparison, topic 1, topic 2, right? So you can read this. So this is very in-depth model of the essay, 46 pages. This is a crux, simple things. Okay. And again, everything I say will be like, water thrown on the hot pan. It will just evaporate. You have to write. The moment you write your first essay, you'll understand everything automatically. After writing, you will get it evaluated, right? That is where I point out. See, this is what exactly I told you in the discussion class. Then you will like, oh, sir, I understood now. Yeah. Essay, again, I summarize one line. It's your daily thought process. How you think is what you write. If you think better, you will write better. If you read good examples, you will bring good examples. If you are just reading what everybody is reading, you will also write what everybody is writing. That won't get you a good score. Okay. Not only examples, contextualization is very, very important. Okay. And why should you trust me? Not testimonial, not anything. I'm asking you generally, why should you trust me? Sir, I know you, I know your face, I know your name. Or you will feel bad if I say I don't trust you. No? Why should you trust me? Okay. You can entertain an idea without accepting it, right? Yes. Nice. You don't have to trust me, you have to trust my experience. That is also the simplest answer. Occam's razors, right? Sometimes the simplest answer is the easiest one. Okay, what I have done in the last 3 years is I have evaluated more than 600 to 800 essay copies only, not GS copies. So that sheer exposure will give me some new insights in what most people lack. That experience will be there. As he said, I started my preparation in 2010. Now this is 2022. I'm not preparing anymore. So in the last 12 years, I have spent my life only in UPSC. And then the last 4 years, I have spent my life only thinking about, evaluating essays or newspaper reading, newspaper classes, current affairs classes. So I have experience. So that's the only thing that differentiates between you and me. That is what I told you in the beginning of the session, right? Okay. So when you bring your essay, I can easily correlate it to a lot of things. And that rectification process will become easy. That is the advantage. The effort is yours. The memory power is yours. The examples are yours. All I'm doing is I'm just telling you whether you are on the right path or not, whether you are investing your energies in the right places or not. For you to figure it on your own, it might take an attempt or two. Okay. But if you rectify it the sooner, the better. That is all we are doing here in the next 10 weeks. Rectification of errors in the minimum amount of time. And you will see visible difference. Again, it's not my words. You have to trust your own instinct. From first essay to third essay, you will see progress. Third essay to seventh essay, you will see progress. Why? It's you who is working hard. All I'm doing is just chipping away the rough edges and showing you the most logical path. Yes. Trust but verify. That is how it works. Yes or no? Yeah. If you have any specific questions, I will be happy to answer them. As J.K. Rowling says, you have to be a good reader to be a good writer. If you don't read, not even God can make you write good essays. So don't expect miracles without doing something. No? No one will judge you. Blue pen, black pen, which pen, gel pen. Okay, yes, you can underline. You should not draw diagrams. Common sense. No flowcharts, no diagrams, no numbers, preferably. If you want to write as firstly, secondly, thirdly. Then, yes, you can highlight the codes, capitalize, underline with black ink. That is allowed. Color pens preferably not allowed. Blue and black is fine. In reality, you won't have the time to change the pens. Gel pens are much better than ordinary pens, but still people got top 10 ranks with normal pens. Don't have to change if you are writing well. Gel pen has that visible difference. It makes your papers look very neat. You can ask me anything related to essay, no matter how trivial it is or how complicated it is, except ask me to write that question. Wisdom finds truth. I haven't found my truth, so I cannot write that essay. Apart from that, all the 149 other topics I can answer. Let's say there was a topic about urbanization or something. You will write Sita and Gita. Sita stayed in the village, Gita went to city and something. Then you will argue why urbanization is important or urban is important. That means rural areas should also be developed. Then you will say, so from every future Sita who is going to stay back, she will also have the advantage of Gita who moved to the city. So that means you are writing in the body part that villages should also be developed along with the cities, right? Then you are concluding by saying future Sitas who stay back in the village won't have the disadvantage of the present Sita. That is the change I'm hoping for. Then you are linking your intro to the body, right? Sorry, to the conclusion. You found a problem, you're telling how to work, and you're in the conclusion saying in future things will be better. You got the idea? Yeah, okay, let's Okay, so you're saying that I have introduced it with something, then I'm writing 6 or 7 dimensions, then I'm coming to the conclusion part. Okay, so as a potential bureaucrat, whenever you see a topic, you will find a problem with the topic, or you'll find a consensus with the topic. Let's say women in India are being empowered. Then you'll write how women in India are empowered, agriculture, education, so on and so forth. Then somewhere after the body, don't you think you'll add one line saying, yes, though women are empowered in India, there are still some problems in India. Like infrastructure is still not well, sexual harassment is there, equal pay for equal work is not there, patriarchy is there. Then seeing all these things, you will write, India is definitely progressing, though there are some issues which we can overcome with collective efforts. That can be the conclusion, right? So again, as I said, with each and every topic, it changes. But again, it has to go in that optimistic direction that we are getting better. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is totally wrong. If you see, if you believe, if you read some newspapers, you will feel like India is going into the dogs, totally communalized. There is no hope for India. Yes, that is also not true. Yes or no? At the grassroots level, not every Indian is communalized. So there is hope for India. How can we bring that to conclusion? Conclusion means last 2 paragraphs, more or less, on how we will make India better, or how India will become better, or how as a humanity we will become better, or how that particular topic will get better. Yes, with practice it will get more clear. Anything else? Conclusion, yes. Again, as I said, if you ask the right 5 questions in the thesis statement, okay, automatically deviation will be cut down, right? Your intro, then you have some questions which are all very relevant to the given topic, then conclusion. Nowhere you have the time or scope to go outside the topic. That is one simple trick. Again, remember, you don't have to write the thesis page or the questions in the essay. You can write it in your blueprint. You just bring the answers to them directly in the essay. Then automatically your essay is in the right track. Yeah. Beginners అడిగారు ఎవరన్నా ఏమన్నా ఉన్నాయా ఏం అడిగారు క్వశ్చన్ బిగినర్స్ for absolute beginners. Okay, the advantage of toppers copy. If you are an absolute beginner, you haven't read anything, then I encourage you to go through this particular PDF, like the daily AW PDF. You go through this PDF once, okay, and you can read certain topper copies like Anudip Durisetti copy or Tina Dabi copy, Shubham Kumar's copy. Yes, these 3 people's copies, if you read as an absolute beginner, it will add a lot of weight. Most people don't know how a UPSC essay looks like. That is where they are confused. They fear that UPSC essay means something of a ghost. It has to be tackled at a different level. After my preparation, I will write the essay. No such thing. You are a 22, 23-year-old. You are a graduate. You have a good amount of life on your past, right? You bring all those experiences onto the paper. It will automatically create a better essay. Okay. So go through this particular PDF and you'll understand everything there is to understand with about the essay with examples. Okay, then it will make more sense to you. Yeah, right. Yes, again, last thing, practice is very essential, but deliberate practice is even more important. What is difference between practice and deliberate practice? Deliberate practice means before even writing the essay, you have certain parameters to measure yourself. Is my intro and conclusion going to be linked? Am I going to start with the quote? Am I going to maintain relevancy? You can write 10 or 15 questions like this even before you write the essay. Then after writing the essay, you can cross check whether I have done these things. That is deliberate practice. That means you need to know whether my conclusion is in relevant, positive, optimistic. Have I used at least 3 quotes? In the entire essay, you should write that I will use 3 quotes. Did you get that opportunity to write 3 quotes? I will underline important keywords. Have you underlined the important keywords? First of all, did you use the keywords? Like this, if you can create a chart before writing the exam, okay, then after writing, if you compare it, that is called as a deliberate practice. Writing something out of the thin air and onto a five blank sheets is just practice. It won't tell you whether you improved or not. From essay 1 to essay 2, you will have new rules. Essay 2 to essay 3, you will have new rules again. In the first one, you tested whether you will use keywords or not. Then you came to a realization that all you have done is use keywords. So keywords is not your problem. What is the problem? Linking that keywords to the given topic is your problem. That will be your problem to solve in second essay. Third essay, new problem. Fourth essay, new problem. So every essay you find out new problems and keep solving them. And the 10th essay, what will happen? You'll have less mistakes. You'll still make mistakes, but you'll make less mistakes. That is deliberate practice. Okay. This applies to every stage of UPSC preparation. Okay. So I hope you got a brief idea on what is expected from you in UPSC essay. Write, show it to me, and you'll understand a lot of things. It will make a lot of sense. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I will wrap up the session. Any questions? No? Feel free to ask them. Don't think about others. Balraj? Fine. Okay then. Yeah. Right. Thank you.